we just need to dog people and farm more shit. Make sure that we have our debtors for the split. And make sure that the groups stay alive. Push up, take positions, push them to take these fights up here instead of backside. Right? Stall the fight as much as possible here and wait for them to split. And immediately when they split, these three groups should be already on C, trying to cut them off. And then these groups follow them and try to stop them on the bonfire. So this is basically the opener. As a defender, we need to understand which groups are supposed to split. Groups should know how they want to prioritize C above all, even if B is ticking. And what is a scenario where they would do what's called the 7-3 split, right? And I think I got defense para. So that's a 7-3 split. They probably will have... This is a defender's 7-3 split, and I'll do this. No, that's ours, actually. Attack. This is a 7-3 split from the enemy side. Maybe they do 6-4. It's fine. If we do a 7-3, we keep A, we stall B, maybe we can pull like DPS first, or maybe like a flex first, or maybe a bow, so we can roll over this, right? At no point we are prioritizing B over C. Like, from a shot caller's point of view, from a strategist point of view, if you're moving people towards the side flag, you're less likely to pull them again on B. And that's why you start with, maybe we should do like this. These are codes, and point is 1 and 2, right? So you have 10, 9, and 3. I'll delete this.
From 7 to 10 is Dex only. Dex flex. I mean, it's probably the same.
So 7 plays here, 8 plays on right side as well. But split is 7, 9, and 3.
Split is 8, 3, and 10.
8, 3, and 10. Okay, hold on. Oops.
If you check page 4.
Yes. So I don't think that this is a bit like on Abaton, where you don't know that they will do the 7-3 100%. This is a bit extreme, right? This is the last scenario. If you started moving all these people on the side flank, most likely you will give away B at some point. I think it's easier if you do 8. Yeah, it's... Hold on. What the fuck? Yeah, 8, 3, and 10. That's fine. So 8, 10, 3, which play on the left side. Then you would have to give the top side quad, which I guess is 5, right?
Yeah.
Then 1 and 2. And this is where you have like more people on C. You move the point group as a unit. And once you move this, you cannot move people back. You can't move people back to B. You would much rather give away B because C is priority, rather than having the point group, which has 3 healers, SNS, flail, shot caller, like do this thing. And it's much more beneficial to actually lock C for 30 minutes. And it's actually way easier. Like, if we talk a bit about today about the main raid and talk a bit about how like we control sides, you would much rather lock them on one flag. There is so many times this flag is closed rather than the 2 flags and rather than the fort. The fort is 2 bombs. It's a way too coin flippy. This is your win condition. Keeping the 2 flags as much as possible, but without pulling people into rotating constantly. And making sure that this is closed. So let me check my notes really quick. So overall, when it comes to the opener, the 3 groups which we have already know what they do, but also groups 1, 2, and 5 need to understand that they are the first to start rotating. When it comes to the DPS situation, you can play with it. Like, there is no rule. Sometimes you will see that it's easier to send DPS to address, because things are staying alive, but they are just having like a lot of fire stuffs. Sometimes it's easier to send like point steppers, which is squad groups and point groups. What I saw on the defense, which I didn't really like, is that immediately after we bombed C, there was a call for people to go B. But we didn't kill them. Like, we didn't wipe them. Well, the first time we did. The second time we bombed them and we didn't wipe them. And we managed to hold B. It's not going to happen. Because they will just see empty space, they will step on the point, and then they will start taking it. And then people who would have like halfway through, they will just go there, bomb, and then they would have to over-rotate. And if they actually take the opportunity and read it well enough, and they bomb the remaining people on the point, and they desync us, there is no way one group that actually touched B can come back and win C. Because all these numbers are desynced, right? All these numbers have people on the respawn. And I think that's what happened on C one point, where I actually asked you to send more than, like, to over-rotate, basically, to ask for point groups as well. I asked for code and point groups because we actually got desynced completely there. We were quite lucky that we got the respawn timer immediately, but if they were like good players and they waited for the respawn to bomb us, there is no way that we could have held C, unless we rotated everyone from B. And most of the times you don't. So, that about the opener, and a bit of the flank rotations, I think. And even about the split, to be honest. Overall, these three groups that actually try and play C and actually try to push them away, right? I don't want to see, because these are like flex fights, or like they have like a fucking... they have like a Dex group, and they want to duel. I've seen so many times swinging wide, swinging more wide, swinging wider, playing Narnia. Playing Narnia here, and not even this being matched. And then playing like a duel here while this is ticking. It's not good. It's... We need to stay as unit, and we need to make sure that this keeps not being ticked. That's the whole purpose of the split, is to keep this white, so these guys here can play aggressively and bomb. The moment this ticks, as a caller, you have to rotate. You have to address it, because that's your priority. You are constantly watching this as a shot caller. Constantly. This is like your day. 30 minutes is here, and another not 30 minutes. 15 minutes is watching this. What ticks and what it doesn't, and what's the trend. And the another 15 minutes is watching your respawn timer and calling for bombs and watching opportunities. But this is, when this ticks, it means that it's taken. Okay, you give it away, but at this point, this is ticking, this is not ticking, it's fine. Like, you carry on. B is ticking, C is not ticking, you carry on, you keep playing. Because this, you will lose B eventually. There are, if you play with good groups, good Nemesis groups, they do, not Nemesis, I'm not entirely sure about Nemesis, but they can do whatever the fuck they want if they die, if they get desynced. I've seen groups go to B because they main caller calls to go to B, but then they move to C. Once B starts sticking on their side as attackers, they move to C. You see 3 people moving to C. And you cannot call against this. Like, you cannot call, okay, these 2 guys that I see on my right, and you call 2 names to go to C to match these 2 people that move. You don't work like this. You work like moving groups. So you need to be a bit conservative with your approach. So I don't think you can keep B a lot. You can play for C way more. Calling for the split, that's fine. Sign flag and 50v50. That's
So
the
just quickly,
other
Arkii.
thing. Yes.
So the split, what we tend to call is, obviously we have group 3, 8 and 10 will go to C. Then next rotation I tend to send group 5 so that they can step point. And then after group 5 I either send group 1 and 2, or sometimes I try and send group 9. Group 9's a flex group.
If the point is ticking because you don't have eyes there, I think you should 9 out of 10 times call for the point groups to move. Because most of the times you're playing for C not to be ticked. Also, a good thing for you is
when I call the point groups to go to C, I'm basically giving up B at that point.
Yes. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I guess what Arkii is saying, I guess, in a way, if I'm wrong, all's good. Yeah, correct me. We're losing the side flags just way too quickly, so it does make sense if instead of having the mindset of playing for B, we prioritize C and take more proactive measures to ensure that we keep C for last. So as soon as we see 25-50% take on C, then we move the point groups over because we want C.
Well, that's what I did in this defense war. I'm prioritizing C, and when I see it go above 50%, that's where I'm like, all right, I need to be sending point groups across and just thinking about dropping B then.
Yes, exactly. If C goes above 50%, you're moving point groups and you're calling for C. So a good tip for you is when you're calling for a specific point, you just say which point you are. Like if you're moving, I'm calling for C now, or I'm calling for B. So people know on B what they're doing. And these groups, like I will not accept group leads who are playing consistently in their groups not to be able to do main comms. A tip for you, Drazik, is to mute your team, because I don't care how I love Metric, but I don't care how his day is, or if he's being dogged down.
But what about my grey bars?
No, I don't give a flying fuck. I would mute your group 11 out of 10 times, to be honest, because comms are cluttered. You don't know fuck all what's happening. There's a 10-man comm as well. It's not really helpful. There's too much going on, and this group needs to more likely listen to you, what you say, instead of you listening to them.
Yeah, you also take too many cues off us, I think.
All right, that's fine.
It is good. So I like you will train this as you move along, as you play more wars, because there are so many opportunities that they're dogging Metric, and you need to see this. So we will do the one-on-one VOD review on how I want you to not play the game. And I want you to see more and run around more, and not thinking about collapsing on the bombs that you call, but seeing what the outskirt does. And that's another thing. But you need to have an overview of where we're winning, what we're losing, and see things that others will never see. Like how many people they're rotating, see the road far away if they're rotating people at random times, which side is our dex is being fucked. If we're winning a side, if they have like 50 bruises on R6 and we can bomb them, things like that. So it's like a one-on-one on color shit. But let's talk about like the side flag 50-50, okay? So this is ours. I'll refresh it. This for still 5. Okay. We need to understand what strong side means. And strong side, or far side, if you're an attacker, is the side that is further away from your respawns, from the enemy respawns, right? It is defined by the attacker, and it is defined by the attacker because that's the flag that we give away. Well, it is defined by the defender because we're giving away that flag. But the attacker makes use of that flag and has all its funnels towards this side, okay? What that means is if a person dies anywhere on the top side or this side, basically, they will respawn on the flank and they will make all their way like this. If they're playing bottom quad, they will make all their way like this. So not only you have groups who are playing on this side and they're defaulting, you also have the respawns who also come like this. And most of the times they come with full skills. That's pretty obvious. I know everyone knows this, but let's go to the second page of this. That means that this area is overstacked by enemies. And this area is hard for the enemies to get influence on. So that immediately becomes our strong side. When we're posting a roster out, and we put groups on strong side or weak side, the groups need to understand what that means. And even when it's B, the last flag, how you can address this, how you work around this. And when it comes to slotting people, you can have healers who are stronger on the weak side, players who are better individually on the weak side, players who are more aggressive on the strong side. You can have DPS who play on this side, on the weak side, because the DPS will always play on the weak side, right? So that you slot them as on fourth places on the weak groups, and DPS who will play on this side on these groups, right? So they get heals from the clap. We play clap on codes and stuff. So everything makes sense because we know which is the flag that we're giving, right? We're giving this flag, so immediately that means 4 and 6 weak, 3 and 5 strong. Okay? Now, B, same situation. Strong is further away from the response because we gave away B. C is the same situation. Strong side, weak side. Honor, or I'm not entirely sure that we ever won strong side decks. And this is a macro issue. Maybe it's a player diff, but it's the lazy answer. Most of the times we don't really play correct, or we don't really play with enough people to make sure that this is a strong side. And then we can go back to having DPS on this side with muskets and bows, making sure that they clear this line and then they clear this line. And how further up 9 should play. Maybe if I do this, maybe 7 should play here, 9 should play there. And you just, because that's weak side, and then you have like your DPS. I assume that's like all kinds of DPS play here, or they play there, and they push this, or they help this. Depends on what they are. And if your DPS is fire staffs, they can just park themselves here and help both. And you're trying to basically play for this. You're trying to play for this area. This group will never play here. They will marginally be able to push up here. Most of the times they will push and then collapse at the back on a bomb call. Most of the bombs that are happening on the left side are the weak side bombs. You are having left side, weak side bombs because you have one right side. And all the army is trying to push on the side flag, not up, but from the strong side, they're trying to push to the weak side. Okay, constantly. That's the momentum. That's as a main raid. That's what we're trying to do. Now the decks, once flex, they need to hold here. They need to hold up here, because if we hold this and we hold this, we can push as an army like this. What happened yesterday when we lost the flag? Our weak side was weak because that's the weak side. I think both Ognam and Legend died on this, and then point group collapsed. Point collapsed even, not just point group. But at the same time, I was like, okay, maybe they trolled, okay, and they played the wrong side. I checked the strong side. We were playing up here. This was completely dodged. So you have to not exactly win, but you have to hold the outskirts. So that means is group 4, for example, that plays weak side, needs to be mindful of the bonfire, 100%. Group 6 possibly won't be able to play further up. Group 6 might be able to play here with 4 and play as a unit, and they need to play whatever they can find live on their side, because basically the point is split into 2 sides, okay? And both sides work together when it comes to quad groups, and the point groups try to fill the gaps. The role of the point group is to fill the gap and maybe set up some graphs close to the bomb calls. I think if we address how quad groups need to push this way on the side flank, and most of the bombs to be placed on the weak side after we go on strong side, I think all the bombs that you called were good bombs. Like were shit bombable, okay? And that's way better than me, for example. So many times I'd wanted to bomb an area for the sake of bombing it. Why realistically, if I just go a bit with the flow and read about the numbers, you can easily just find the biggest clam and just call it. Because it's easier for the bruiser to follow the bigger clam. So I think the bombs were okay. It's just that our sides collapsed yesterday a bit. What else? Yes. So overall, a bit of understanding of how the quads play on weak side, how quads should play on strong side. Weak side groups need to be able to hold the choke and help a bit the dex fight as well. We're not expecting these weak side groups to step the point a lot. Like, we expect them to step the point when it's torched, when we're losing people, when we're trading bombs. But after a one bomb, better value for these groups is to push this way. To push to the weak side. To push them to the bonfire. If this situation here it's torched, we need our DPS here. We need something to address this. I think you called group 7 to help this side at some point. I'm not entirely sure how group 9 was here and how much they could play on this, like, further up, and if they managed to gain value. But for most of the flag, this side was completely torched. And I think these groups played something along this line. And if this plays here, if that plays there, we have no, let me delete this. We have no agency on the sides. That means their healers can pump them constantly. They can reset immediately. They can counter bomb us quite effectively. And it's extremely difficult for us to look for bombs on the top side as well. So these groups are kind of alone on their own. So everything gets pushed. We get traded, desynced. Maybe we get a good bomb on here, but on our way back, we will lose. We will trade some people. People will overstay because that's who we are. And we will do like the micro mistakes that everyone does. And then you lost the point because they can step on 12 with their healers and you cannot. Now, when it comes to, if we agree that we address we find the solution, I'm not really sure which one it is, and we play like for the sides, and we say like, okay, we've won the sides, this is looking good, we had a bomb, wherever that is, it doesn't matter. Like, the point is the same thing. It doesn't matter if the bomb is on the right side or the left side in terms of in terms of opportunity. It's better to follow the better opportunity rather than to bomb an area that is, in paper, in theory, the safer side, right? This needs to come naturally. So overall, I would say that after we get a bomb, wherever that is, and we win it, what do people do? What they actually do is they keep staying there. And they die. And we need to just feed them the feedback, and they need to get better at just declamping. Okay, and I was one of the most people that got dogged down 11 times, so it applies to everyone. But realistically, we want these groups who have bombed, right? Let's say a bomb happens on the left side, who have bombed to reset back to their sides and dog the people who are like there. If we bombed bottom side, we want top side groups to return and push up. If we bombed top side, we want bottom side groups to return back and get their positions and dog people down. If bruisers see, or like the group sees like a 2 bruisers and a VG fighting like 3 people on the bottom left, they're from group 3, my group, helping this is way more value than just dogging people for no reason. Like, we need to confirm kills. Our best opportunity to desync the enemy army is to dog them after the bombs. Like, I know bombs is like a coin flip. You either win it or lose it, and you need to react into it. And sometimes you have to react to it, or sometimes you have to act into a bomb. And it's like you're bumping heads with somebody. That's not when you actually gain momentum. It's to either catch up or snowball. It's a coin flip, right? It's the risk you have to take. Bombs are risky. What is not risky is dogging people out. That's why groups need to start like dogging together people and just taking these opportunities on the sides. Especially when we're talking about like side flag, these two groups can help a lot each other, and these two groups can help a lot each other. So 3 and 4, 3 and 5, depending on what the war looks like. 4 and 6 have to hold ground here, and maybe they need to push like this, so we push like this, and push them out. Realistically, you want to force them on a reset that will push them to the bonfire, and forcing them to a reset is after the bombs. Nobody will die on a bomb and they will go on a reset. They will go on a reset if they lose the bomb and then they lose people. And then they push, then we push their healers out. And then we kill like a healer on the point group. Or we dog the SNS. And that follows on the other thing we need to do. We need to know who the fucking caller is. And we need to know who the SNS is. And we need to know how to dog them. Because after bombs, we need to dog them both to death. They shouldn't play the game. They shouldn't be allowed to play the game. And that's what it comes to the shot caller on our side as well, to play live. That's why you're playing flail, so you don't die. If they don't have eyes, there is no bomb call. If there is no bomb call, every bomb call that you do is a winning bomb call. So if you kill the SNS, all your bombs are winning bombs. If you kill the caller, there is no counter bombs. So all the bombs are winning bombs. If you get these two people, you're winning every bomb on the point. And if you get them both, the point is closed. There's no way they can do anything. You can bomb every 20 seconds for the next like 2 rounds, and they will just run around like headless chickens. So, and we need to know this as squads, as point groups, as an army. Because if we can get people desynced, these individuals, there is no way they take the point. If the SNS is dead, like any bruiser knows that the SNS is dead, they can take any bomb. They will never die. Any bomb. They can detonate on him. Nothing stays alive if the SNS is dead. If the caller is dead, there is no punishing on your calls, Drazek, at all. So on the 50v50, we need to have a bit of awareness on what we dog, who we dog, and what does that mean. Now, what else? Outskirt play. Ooh. Realistically, quads play point, okay? We expect the quads to spread around the point and fill the gaps, especially after bombs, which things need to balance again. We expect the quads to play and fill the gaps. There are many occasions on the side flag that, as we said, that 4 and 6 need to play on the outskirts to detic and push people out. There are sometimes that 3 and 5 has to fill the gap on the outskirts. That is not good. Because the role of 3 and 5 is to step the point on this side flag, right? If it's B, it's not 3 and 5, it's 3 and 4, maybe. But on this flag, this is fundamentally our strong side. We need 3 and 5 to step and dog. Match up, like a play with the point group and collapse on people. Find good angles as well, especially the top side groups, and sandwich like this. If we're losing strong side and we're winning weak side, people need to know this. The best person to relay that kind of information, apart from the people themselves understanding from, let me do this. Not this, this. So, for example, right side here, for example, is completely torched. Left side is also lost. It's extremely difficult I see Flock trying to keep this, but it's the expense of this being ticked. This is extremely difficult to sustain. If we don't have any control on the outskirts, we are forced for main raid to push and take these fights on the... I should do this. So if this line is our line, basically, with cautious, I guess, when we have some kind of presence on the point, we're trying to keep this, and then let's say that this is our line. But this is not like really strong. This is being ticked. We have to address this. So everything starts to lose. Everything starts to snowball on their end. We have like people going around. We do a bomb. This is a good bomb, but then now we're being counter-bombed, I think. Are we? This side is winning, which is odd. But this side is losing because they have pushed further up. If our healers don't see this and they reposition on this side, they will die. They will get pushed. We will have a bomb when these healers are disrupted, and it's going to be catastrophe, right? Because if these healers cannot heal from this side, which is supposed to be our strong side, then we're bombing this. These will not be able to sustain properly. Now, having strong side on the weak side, like having more numbers on the weak side, I see Zenda, Ognum, Laura Shu. It's extremely difficult to sustain because what will happen is the response. I need to stop this. The response will come like this. They will get our healers on the side. Their healers will not be able to move here. Maybe they will do like movements like this on the sides, and they will just strangle us. And I think that's how we lost the point, actually. So having outskirt control is fundamental. I'm not entirely sure where our DPS is playing at this specific scenario, what's going on, where they are positioned on that specific moment, if they are not in sync or not. But to me, this is losing. Like, this point is losing because we have not really stabilized on the point itself. We're trading and we're being traded because that's what happens at the level we are playing. Maybe some deaths should be avoided. Now, right side is winning, but left side is balanced. It's a bit of a... We're trying to push way too much, and from both sides, and then they get a kill, they snowball us, they push us further back. It's not stable. Like, it's too volatile. I don't think we understand 100% on how to use the strong side to our advantage, how to play a bit live on the weak side, how to pull some numbers maybe on the strong side so we gain some value, because instead of our flex decks like pushing to Narnia, they can just park here and play for value. Or they can I don't know if our DPS is on this side, right? But if our flex pushes up, I should delete some of them. If our flex pushes up and then our DPS can do this and play for value here, it's done. These people will not be able to sustain. Like Aqualifer will not be able to play, Harfing will not be able to play, Scorpionic will not be able to play, and it's not just the point to address it, right? The bruisers have 10% on thrust. If a spear comes on you, you're fucked. If a bow fucks you up or fire stuff starts pumping you, you're gonna die as a bruiser. The only person that you spec against is other bruisers most of the time. So I think, this looks more balanced. I don't like where Zenda plays, because he should be playing at the back, but I'm not entirely sure that the back is clear. Yeah. Like, these people should be addressed by the fire stuff or the DPS as well. If they're bruisers, maybe not, but still. I think immediately when we pushed up, points stopped ticking. If they push us further back, points start ticking. It's like a pendulum, right? So we need to make sure that we stop the pendulum and we keep the sides like this, and maybe that one, so we can bomb up properly. So this bomb here will be the one. And actually, that's another thing. Okay, if we if we keep this and that, most bombs will happen here and there, which is bottom left and top right. So top side on our strong side and bottom on our weak side, which is how the point is balanced. If we win this and win this, most bombs will happen here. If we lose both sides, most bombs will happen here. That's how the point works. That's how, and I know you know this, but what I'm trying to make sure like the flex decks understands is that the more they hold on positions, the more our bombs will be easier. And why are they easier? Because let's say that we're holding this line and we're holding that line, right? And our bomb happens somewhere on the top side. And I collapse as a bottom side player, like I'm here, I collapse like this, right? And top side groups go like this. Cautious, what the fuck is this guy doing here? Like, cautious, find some value elsewhere, bro. Come on. And then these groups collapse like this. And bottom side groups collapse like this. If we lose this and we charge back, we will charge here. We're still taking it. We're still having influence on the point. This point is still ours. We might have traded a few people. We might have killed a few people. We're resetting. We're running for our lives. We may be like we're at, I don't know, 2k HP, but we're still here trying to play live. We're still like stepping on these sacreds that are like friendly and next to us. While if the bomb is here, if we lost it and we're holding these sides and they completely pushed us, maybe they pushed us like this. Sometimes they push us like this. I saw that as well. They had so many DPS running like this. So if we say that we hold this and we hold that, and the bomb happens around this area, and I collapse from the bottom side, and top side groups collapse from this, and I have to charge out, I'm not on the point. While the enemy that will charge out, right, they will descend and still take this. So understanding how the dynamics work on the point between all players helps us address the space. I don't know what else is there. Maybe I should play this a bit. Maybe there's something that I've missed. But overall, I think that's what I want to say. Yeah, these are good bombs overall. Like, we're killing shit. Maybe we're overstaying a bit, but we're killing shit. Now this is pushed completely. Like, this is pushed so much. This is difficult because there's so much shit passing through. I don't think we can have any healer. Like, Ogna immediately pulls aggro. He has to leave. That's pretty difficult. This is torched completely. Yeah, this is 100% torched. Like, our left side is stronger than our right side. I'm not entirely sure what imbalances we had on the macro side of things. Who played where? Maybe we had like worse groups on this side, quad groups included, as this side. But having this side as a strong one is too volatile. The response will come as they will in a minute, and we will lose 2 healers here. Yeah. Immediately. Aggro. You cannot play there. Like, they were on the right side, they got pushed, they went road, they went left side because it was easy. Immediately the response come, they have to go top side. They cannot heal. It's impossible. They don't have an easy life. They cannot pump. We need to make sure that we have an area our healers can just pump us. The more they pump us, the less we get traded. Everyone here is main character. Everyone here has Ankh. Everyone here has Tumblers. There is no way in the world that we are getting like, we don't have like a 10k HP Ds. No way. If they don't have the time to heal us, we are getting fucked. Yeah, again, and you can see that, like, left side is more numbers. It looks like back left is easier, but realistically, they get sandwiched from the respawns. It's like herding sheep, you know. We cannot have our sheep on the, I don't know, wolf's den. I'm not calling anyone sheep, okay?
This was the MOBA or?
No, that was the defense.
3-2.
Yes.
3-2-1 defense.
On 3-2-1, yeah, we were playing 2-2, but 3-2-1 we're playing like 3 decks on the right side, I think, and 1 only on the back left.
Yeah, look at this. This is torched. If you guys, I think Sans is here. I don't know what the deck's situation is, but this need to be communicated because we need to match this. Or I don't know. I don't think we can pull groups like bruiser groups and dog this out. But weak side groups most likely will not be the best players to do that, right? Strong side groups will not be the best ones to fight fire stuffs. But this is completely torched. This is 100% lost. This is so... The only way to flip this is if we actually, as a main raid, carry maybe 2 bombs in a row. Which is not happening because most of the times we are being traded as well on the point. Maybe we bomb this, and maybe a couple of times, and this stops ticking, then these groups on the side can do this. And help. But I don't think that's easy. Because these groups are not built to do this. You need the groups that will have from fire gems to oak fleshes ready to thrust conditioning on the bruisers. I can share like bruiser VODs from Bootsy and Tattoo that played against decks. They literally bomb point and then they go fight decks. And then they come back, bomb point, and then go fight decks. And that's difficult to do on this stage. At this stage. But we need to make sure that this side wins. Maybe pulling groups from the left side to the right. I'm not sure what the... Yeah, it's completely torched. They bomb us on their one side and they completely wipe us. 100%. Everyone is dogged. This collapses immediately. And I think that's a good example of that's a good example of what goes wrong and how we lose this. And maybe I should show what winning looks like. Yes, not for too long. I don't want to keep you here for the rest of the day. Maybe for like 5 minutes more. But what winning looks like. Where is it? It's this one. No, it's not. Is it? Nope. I think it's this one, right? The fuck's going on? Yeah, I think so. Yes, okay, sorry. Let me bin everything and pull this. I'll put it on maybe 1.5. Start on B. They don't really do much. They play B, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Still playing point. They killed some people. I asked some people to move. C starts ticking. We start pulling people to C. Come on. I don't care about this. C ticks. Keep fighting for B. The more C's being ticked, I can fight on B, right? And it's fine even if we lose B. It doesn't even matter, guys. We're just buying time, okay? Just don't get desync, don't get collapse on the bombs. Nobody gives a fuck. The more this gets Like they cannot do anything. Like they just buying time. You're buying so much time, and you can easily take the bombs if this is not immediately when this ticks. You have to call groups to go to C, and then shit hits the fan. Nobody cares. Over rotate to C. You give away B, and this is how it looks, right? Side groups try to hold this. Shot caller is inting. This is what happens when shot caller is ints. You call his name, he dies. That's it. They don't have anything. Sorry, what?
Sorry, I was imagining what everyone would be screaming.
By the way, I think that we have a little problem that sometimes on the split, on the C point when we have B, the decks play like if they were point parties. So I mean, they think they can't leave the point in any moment. I mean, I could just wisp if we need help, to be honest. But sometimes on the 10 versus 10, if we focus literally on only the point, we will going to lose the 10 versus 10, and then we'll have to call for rip for backup and all this stuff. And I think that's literally why we lost yesterday's A point. I mean, we could not tick a little bit on the MOBA attack because literally every dex was a step in the point. Like if we were about to win it, like the point was totally red, 0% ticket, and people were playing to just take the point instead of winning the dex fight. And that happens a lot, I think.
So, are you talking about the 10v10 at the start on the side flag? Yeah. And you're saying the dex fight. Where are the enemies though? Like. Do you have a VOD? Can you send me the VOD?
Yeah, wait a second. Can you check on bots the any group 7? No, my bot. Wait a second. I will send you.
So let's do this.
Like 2 minutes or something like that. Put it faster. No, later. It's like the first move. Okay. Sooner? Okay. Like a little bit earlier.
Hold on. Let me take out the... Earlier you want?
Yeah, wait a second. Like, even earlier. Wait a second. Okay, now we're coming.
I'll pull that aside.
Yeah, now we're coming for the point, okay? And when you see that we are reaching there, people literally just came to take the point, like we were bruisers, instead of go outside and fight the decks. Like, the mages should take the point and the healer instead of the melee, because otherwise it's going to be impossible to disrupt the healer.
That's the attack, though.
Yeah.
We're attacking.
Yeah, but we do the same on defense. People stay on the point and wait for the clap. Even if it's the decks, the mages will just, the moment they can, they will just start pad on the point and look at the melees. Or everyone is on the point at this moment when we literally don't need to. We have to win the 10 versus 10 before step on the point, I think. Because at this moment, in like 2 minutes now, one party is full wiped, even if you did not see it. One party just died because of all the boost. And we are 10 versus like 20 or something like that. And now even the point is ticket, it's useless as fuck.
So this is the yesterday's war, right?
Yeah, and that happens also on defense. People stay on the point.
Hold on. Okay, there is a caveat here. The yesterday's attack had only Dex take the side flag, which is troll. I'm sorry, but it is troll. There's no way you can do this without a side group, like a bruiser group. I don't want to spend too much time on like only the decks being split because it's a bad example. Like it shouldn't be like this. You should have like quads and the bruisers can play. If that's the case, the bruisers can play here and there and they can hold the line while your healers at the back can just pump them, right? And the decks can assist. I understand why. Yes, it's not good that the deck stayed here, but at the same time, it's not a good example because you had nobody to stay here. And immediately when you're getting pushed, you have to flee. It's not a good example. It's not good practice. On the defense, you should have a bruiser group. At this stage, you have one quad and two flex decks. That's it. And you push as a trio. Like, I don't know how to say this differently.
That was I was asking for, yeah. Like
you push
two
as
decks
a
in
trio,
one-
right?
Yeah.
Yes, you push. Like I see decks fighting their own dual fights and letting the quad push on their own. No, you shouldn't, because you have like 2 melees on 2 of these groups, and you can dissipate the pressure. You need to push them. Like if this is we're defending, okay? Let's see. Like on this scenario,
Yeah.
let's say that these are like 15 versus 15, not the whole shenanigan, the whole like 50. But you have to push like this with the 3 groups. You push as a unit. You don't do dex versus dex and flex versus flex and quad versus quad. There's no such thing. You have to push them and take the fights as far as possible. If they swing wide, you follow them and you meet them on the road. When it comes to the opener, I explained that at the start. On my YouTube studio. My vote is not a great example because we were playing against bots. On the opener at least. I think that went okay, to be honest. Like, we meet them. And we're farming them. Like, they just flex. I don't like the guy, but I'm here with him, you know? And I'm helping this. And we're moving as a unit. Yes, I'm keeping an eye on what the fuck's happening, and I'm trying to understand, like, how can I help? But I'm here. Like, that's why they're not pushing us. That's why they're trolling. They're losing. And the point is not ticking. And at 10 seconds, they will start the split. It doesn't even matter. Like, there's no way they can keep this. And I'm holding a line. I'm not even, like, pushing aggressively. I'm not going to push them to the war camp. I'm not going to do this. I'm not gonna overextend. I don't know what this guy's doing. But you try and hold the line. Because you know at 29, they will start the split. And when they start the split, you need to be with them. Because if you start chasing them, they will have better positions on your strong side. You have to be with them. You don't really. You try and hold the line. If they try to collapse, you punish it and you force them to act. So you react. I think this is a really good opener, to be honest. Like, this is pretty standard, pretty straightforward, and they cannot push us. You see, like they kind of try to push. These guys are quad groups. They start splitting. Okay. I think so. Creeper is a bruiser, right? Yeah, he is.
yeah.
So this is way better. And at 29, they start splitting. And we send 2 people here, and it's done. Now, I'm not entirely sure if they will send like more people, like than the 3 groups. I need to see.
I don't think so.
Maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I see 2 healers, 15. That's 3 groups. But we're sending more. Yeah. This is where we wipe them completely. And now that we got the kills, now that's a good example of going back, right? Like the call to pull people back is a really good one because we wipe them completely. They're desynced, but now we need to help Molly. Like now, our groups need to do this, right? And we need to take the fights here and then further back. And then wait for them to come from the back, and then we reset a bit, and we take the fight close to the jungle. We shouldn't be allowing them. Yeah, I'm watching this. This is a bit scattered, but I think this is fine. I want these people to push up, though. Like, come on. Can maybe I should go back like a bit. Maybe I should go back a bit. Like, we will not detect this because we have bruiser stepping. We will detect this because our healers will detect this. Or nobody will be on the point. And we need to push up. I think Blackie leaves. Yeah, we need to push this. We need definitely to push this. They have an SNS. They have the SNS here. Whatever the fuck.
Happily using this as he's.
Yeah, I need to ask Zenda to step the fucking point. Yes. Sparks, Lithalia, we can all set the point here. It's pretty free. These small skirmishes are irrelevant. We can definitely tank this. Yeah, it's okay. It's manageable. Like if we play a bit if we play a bit smarter, we can easily do it. If we don't overcommit and we play close and more compact, and we don't really overcommit on the outskirt fights too much, when we get used to it as a 15-man, maybe we need like the DPS because it's easier to match it. So instead of having like 15 versus 15, you send some quad DPS, so you play like 18 on our side instead of 15, and you make sure that you always have numbers advantage and you win this. But that's like details, and I'm not entirely sure of the macro here, like who was supposed to be here, if the DPS were supposed to be here, but they're pushing us right now, and doesn't feel like we got a lot. They have some bruiser groups as well. Yeah, now that we're getting desynced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They have 14 on the point. It's pretty difficult. Yeah, this is tortured. Anyways, I'll go back to this real quick, and we can call this. No tick. That's another thing, okay? That's actually one really important thing for the main raid. No tick means you can destack and play around and play away. Also, it means that they have to engage first. They have to act. They either have to pull numbers, right? So they have to like step the point with a lot more people than us, or they have to dog us down and kill us and create differential. The more this is blue, the more aggressive we can play on the outskirts. And we don't really have to bomb. We don't really have to look for opportunities if this is not being ticked. Now that this is being ticked, I might be looking for something. They have to bomb this. Immediately you counter bomb it, and it's so easy. Like you can tell how easy it is. Immediately, like this is not ticking. This is not ticking. This is not ticking. You're just chilling, waiting. If nothing's happening, nothing is happening. You don't have to engage. Bomb happens back left side, you just counter bomb it left side, right? And you just punish them. Playing defense is a lot easier than playing attack, because attack you have to make shit happen. On defense you just react to them, right? If your raid is not being too cocky and your raid knows how to like find angles, you can just trade them. Some bombs that you will try and counter bomb, they will be traded, or they will have like more people. So you're looking for a bomb now, right? Now this is ticking, so now you have to look for something. You cannot just let it be. Now you need to address this. You're looking for something good on the timer. Probably that's on our SNS. They're dogging our SNS. I'm calling for a bomb on our SNS. Everything is so much more beneficial, favorable to us than them. And it doesn't matter if it's strong side, weak side. Like I don't even care about like left, right. Shit is balanced. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. This is still ticking. I still call for the next one, and you go on the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And it doesn't matter which side is winning. Within the blue, it doesn't matter which side is winning to call a bomb when this is ticking. Because you have to call a bomb where the biggest clump of reds are. They will counter bomb some of them. You will win some of them. The point ticks. So that's a good example. We bombed left side. We won left side because that stops ticking. That means you won a bomb. I call to dog people on the right? And immediately these right side groups are already there. Like these Tattoo, Penner, Rainer is point group. Bootsy is right side as well. All these bruisers immediately go to their side, immediately go back to their default position, and they start dogging people out, right? Shit still is not easy because they have numbers. We try to balance it. Like everyone is mindful of the tick. We call a bomb again. It's on our strong side, so it's difficult for them to heal it, but you have to take the opportunities that you got. And then you push up. It's not an easy fight at all, but you need to just keep doing what you're doing, right? This is kind of balanced. They're bombing this. I think this is balanced, and I'm calling them, we're looking to counterbomb this. To counterbomb their bomb, and then just telegraph their bomb, and then you just wipe them. They have nowhere to go. If you have like good angles and you go second from the outside, they have nowhere to go. Pushing up, pushing to the left side. I'm asking for these groups to push to the left side, but realistically, this is like an easy war, right? I'm not saying that this is going to be our next war, but I'm saying like how it looks when we understand how the sides will win. And if we win this, if we win like one of our sides, the side naturally will push up. We will dissipate pressure from the point, and we can play outskirts. If this stops ticking and it ticks back on our side, our bruisers can go out and play outside a lot more. So I don't want to tire you a lot for this, but it's good to see Volgari dogs dying, you know? Yeah, look at them fucking being farmed. Like, this is so good. Who cares about like bomb kills, because this will happen. But Bergland here, was it Hestia on this one? Like on your downtime, dogging people out. The SNS, Sampa is their SNS. And then they send in back left. A jump. Go, whatever. The point balances. This is not ticking, so that means that we're winning fights. And left side bombs are the good bombs that we want to actually take. I'm inting. Never mind me. Bombs again. Move. Like the point is like not being wiped for so long, right? It's still balanced, but it's easy to counter bomb. Strong side bombs. I don't know if I have to say anything on this anymore. Yeah. So if we see low target people on the point group, good to call them out. If the main caller calls for somebody to be dogged, you should fucking dog them. If Drazek says, this guy, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you are, you dog them. You dog them. You dog them. Because they see the battlefield and you don't. You play with your group, right? You dog. And you wipe floor. Because okay, that's the last thing I'm gonna say. The point takes in a minute. If you have maximum tick, I think is a minute, and it's at +5. But it's a minute like 20 or a minute 10 if it's +1. We're talking about the +1 here. So we need to understand that if the point is ticking and we're close to the point and we're not taking it, we need to step it and take it. And at the same time, if we just get a kill and we step the point, it's a 2-player differential immediately, right? So dogging on our downtime is so important. What I see from our groups is they dog together, yes, but we don't really help other groups. The few times that we do and we kill, it is snowballing the point so much. I think we did once with Foski on that Ibon defense. We helped like the back left group, and immediately this got deticked. This got so much easier naturally. We should have done it way more on the war. And maybe we should have helped like topside groups as well. But when you see 2 bruisers dogging one person, a third one coming from the back and getting like a good angle and dogging that person as well, just clears the point immediately. They have to get out. They have to charge out. They have to reset. They have to get pumped. They have to check their cooldowns. They have to find themselves again and their group. It wins so much time. So when the main caller calls for somebody to be dogged, that's where you have to get active, right? As an army, you have to get active and just dog them. Because many people will just linger on the opposite sides of the bombs, right? Many times, maybe I can find something here. Many times people will linger. Like, who? You see that guy? That guy. These guys are dying on their own. Like, this is insane. Gummy Hammer. Should put it on normal speed. And he's not being dogged only for... Like, these are two groups dogging him. That's group 1, that's group 2. The VG, the Bruiser again from the topside group. Like, two groups working together to dog people out. The top side and the bottom side group. That's what we need to do more as well. And the weak side groups mainly play for life most of the time. It's the point side groups and the strong side groups who are doing the dogging on the strong side and make sure that nobody plays there, right? That's it. I promise. That's it. Nothing else. I think I yapped too much.
No. Trust me, Arkii. Your meetings are much more concise than mine. Thank you. That was awesome.
Raid. I watched Jazek's VOD, and the raid follows him a lot. Like, the bruisers listen. If he calls for a bomb, people commit. He can help them a bit with a few points, like destacking and dogging and like these small details. But overall, it's up to the people themselves to like improve. Mm-hmm. But it's not that we have like a raid that does its own thing, right? I didn't see many solo detos, if any. I didn't see if people are soldiers, and if the people actually play a bit smarter on some specific occasions, it's extremely easy to diff them. On the attack, I would like to have a better war. I don't think the opener was nice, the last attack. I don't think sending only the decks on the side flag was good. We had 0 influence. We had to brute force 2 points. I think the timing that we got the points was really good, but I don't think we were allowed to snowball because we have to brute force 2 points. We didn't flip. It was a bit...
Oh, I
chaotic.
think I can explain that on Rykert's behalf, by the way. The reason he said not to was because I think in the past we've had confusion. We did do it in the past, and we had some confusion, and he didn't want to do that mid-war with having...
I don't think it's Ryker's fault. I think the raid needs to step up.
I agree. I think we need to... Long story short, I do think we need to figure our shit out. I think you made some really good points, especially... excuse my like layman terms, maybe is the best way to put it, but I think we need to make our strong side actually fucking strong. And implement some of the things that you said. But yeah, we need to step up for our shot callers, Riker and Drazek, and yeah.
Yeah, I think because everything lines up, right? Everything lines up. If I'm not saying that we're gonna win the strong side, but if it's more contested and it's more of a default area for the people to just chill,
Yeah.
And people on the weak side know that they can go back to the strong side and fight for it, right? And maybe just put numbers in and then push out of it. You have like somewhere to reset on, regardless of where you play. I think that's the most important bit above everything, because the example of our 2-point healers dying is a prime example of there is no safe space on the strategy for them. The strategy doesn't allow them to reset. And they tried 3 different positions, right? And they still died. So it's not really it's an easy fix. If it's a strategy thing, it's such an easy fix. If we're talking about like them playing out of their minds, to win, then yeah, but I don't think so. We can change the strategy 50 billion times and find a solution that caters to the players instead of just saying, okay, yeah, but you didn't cleanse there or you walked there instead. And I see the same situation, for example, for Zenda, right? Healers, it's not easy for them sometimes to understand which one is their strong side and which one is their weak side because they're trying to do too many things at the same time. And it's so easier for main caller or bruisers or Dex leads to main com and just say their Dex is playing right side, or our Dex lost right side, or where the Dex on the left side is pushing up. Our left side looks safe. Our right side looks safe. These main comms that the shot caller has to do eventually and relay information to the healers should be received by the healers, not as white noise. But then they need to understand, okay, that is where I can move next. I'm here, okay, I can move there. Or no, I'm being dogged. They said that this is moving, this there is safe. I'm gonna move there. And it's a 50-50. The randomness on this game is quite a lot, considering how many people are playing. But having expectation of how things should work like this is completely white. It's such a good thing. Nothing is on the left side. All our healers are pumping. There's no way we're dying. No way we're dying. So, yeah. That's all. That's all.
Thank you.
I'll type in a few things, Drazek, for you. But the main raid also needs to understand how to play a bit better, I think, in terms of being more cohesive with group play and not only doing raid shit and doing valuable stuff when they're playing as a group, in terms of helping other groups and playing with their side group as well to win the side. Because you can, this is a really good example. You have right side groups playing right side. You have left side group playing left side. There is a gap in the middle, like distinct gap in the middle. Point if plays point, LBV is the SNS. And these groups are playing together constantly. And you're just waiting for shit to happen. And when shit happens, main caller calls it and you just connect on it, right? Top left, they said top left. Everyone collapses top left. Nobody cares. Back to your quads after that. You don't even have to overstay. Just throw your shit, do your combo, go to your side, dog people out. Pretty simple. And depending on where it is, you move accordingly, right? And again, two groups on the side. These two groups again on the side. These are playing more live. These are dogging more because they're safe side groups. Point group fill the gap. Point group players fill the gaps. And you just roll. And left side is not really winning. Left side is contested 100%. Right side gets contested quite a bit. But because the core groups are working together on not allowing the point to be ticked, they're basically carrying the war. Yes, these war our decks didn't lose on the strong side, but our core groups work so well that this got de-ticked and wiped. And when this gets de-ticked and wiped, people have to overextend and take risks. And the more risks they take, the more they're exposing themselves, the more they're getting punished. And it's a snowball. Because if they have two people less on the point, you can just have two people less on the point as well. And just chase decks. Anyways, that's all. I stop recording. And I'm going to start uploading it now.
We're still only 44 for the invasion. So people are available.
Yes, if you guys are available, join the invasion. My dad actually just arrived, so I need to go do the family stuff.